next time we went out, we went to a new place. We went to this cemetery that wasn't really highly traveled. We went out. It was kind of out in the middle of nowhere. And we're walking around the cemetery, and we heard there's like a shed type thing with picnic tables under it that was over in the corner of the cemetery. And it sounded like somebody had knocked on the top of the tin on that shed. And of course, a sound happens, a big sound happens. We get all excited, and we decided, hey, it's time. We're starting right now. We're not running from anything anymore. We're going to ask questions. Anytime anything happens, we're asking questions. And so me and Jimmy kind of made a pact right there at that time that there's no more running. We're sticking around. And I said, let's find out if that was coincidence, the wind, or what. And it sounded very deliberate, but let's find out. I said, okay. And I said, hey, if there's something here, bang on that tin again. And without fail, it banged on the top of the tin 3 more times. And so we moved a little bit closer, started asking, what are you here for? Who are you? We asked all these questions, but we didn't get any answers. And I said, if you're still here, bang on the tin again. And there was nothing. So I guess whatever it was left. Let's go somewhere else. And I told Jimmy about the one cemetery where the girl had been nailed to the tree. And we'd been out there several times, and we knew that it was an active spot because the girl that some of the stories in between that you haven't heard yet, we had been out there several times, and she was not as scary as the vision that Justin and I had. She was not creepy at all. She was actually kind of playful. And when we'd go out there, she would hide behind trees and peek out and would pull up to the cemetery and get out of the car. And she was already kind of playing with us. So I said, it's almost guaranteed that if we go over there, you'll get to see something. We'll get to talk to something, which we've never asked her questions. We've never stopped to talk to her. We just had the experiences and went on. I said, this will be a good chance to get some answers. So we went over to this cemetery and we pulled up to the gate. And the way it's set up is this cemetery is on top of a hill surrounded by trees, big pine trees. And the rest of everything around it is wide open. And we pulled up to the gate. And I went to open the door. And when I reached for the door, I looked in the mirror and I saw the keeper fly by. Behind the car, saw him pass through the mirror in the sky. And I stopped and I said, wait a second. The keeper's here. And Jimmy had never met him before. Jimmy had never had that experience, but he knew the story. So we stopped for a second and I said, just watch your mirror. and we'll see. We'll see if he goes by again. And a couple of minutes later, there he goes, whooshed by. And Jimmy saw him. And he said, "Hey, I saw him. I know it's real. He's here. What do we do?" And I opened my door and I said, "Let's introduce you to him." So we got out and we were standing near the car, and I could hear him doing his typical crawl through the trees. You could hear the branches, and I was staring in the direction where I could hear him from. And I fired up a cigarette, and I was standing there looking for him. See exactly where he was at. Jimmy's standing there looking for him. And you could hear the branches creaking, snapping, getting closer to us. And then he hit a blank area in the trees where you could see through and see the sky. And he stopped right there. And I don't know if he has eyes. Never seen the eyes. But if he had eyes, we made eye contact. Because the second I saw him, he stopped. And I was looking directly at where his face would be. And we were kind of in a stare down. And I said, "I know what you are. I know what you're doing." And I just kept staring at him. And Jimmy saw him too. He saw where he was at. And we're just staring. And I believe that was the moment the keeper knew that his gig was up. He knew that we were on to him. And he slowly started backing away through the trees, back the way he came from.